What's up, guys? I thought I'd make a short video going over a zone defense in lacrosse 3-3. Haven't seen too many videos on YouTube that really talk about this or explain it correctly, in my humble opinion. So I thought I'd just make a short video of what I've learned and I actually played in as a goalie. Comment below on whatever was wrong or if I did anything right, and just let me know, or if this video maybe is too small size-wise, and I'll make a bigger one. But yeah, we'll go ahead and go over it. So the first important thing in any defense of any sport, of course, especially in a zone defense, would be communication. Without communication, things start falling apart. People lose their man, don't know what they're doing. So of course, first most important thing is communication. Second thing I find to be important in a zone to play it correctly is the anticipation. Anticipating where balls going to be passed makes this a more aggressive defense, besides just one where people really just lay back into it. You can actually use this to pressure people and double the ball. Thirdly would be a cardinal rule for every defense: no ball watching. But especially in the zone while you're playing in this defense, if you get hung up watching the ball, you're going to lose a man who's dodging inside. You're going to get beat inside, which is one of the no-nos in a zone. Three purposes to probably use a zone. One would be shut down opponent's inside game. You can use a zone defense to make up for any maybe not too athletic deep holes you might have. No offense to you guys out there. It shuts down the inside game. Number two, it forces outside shots, which as a goalie for me, 10 times easier saving those than it is on the inside. It's probably a higher percentage save for a goalie to take outside shots than it would be inside. And thirdly, you can dictate the tempo using this defense. Offense like to hurry it up. Defenses, you'd probably rather slow it down and you control it. Using the zone, you force the offense to start schematically coming up with game plans to beat the zone and zone offenses, as they call it. So, yeah, there we go. There's that. This is probably generally what it would look like right here. This is a 3-3 zone right here. I would say I have the deep holes down here, maybe about 3 to 5 yards up from GLE, right above the crease actually. So that way you don't screen your own goalie. The distance in between these two guys right here, maybe 5 to 7 yards. Now the way you usually have your zone defense set up would be these three bottom guys would be deep holes. This would be a short stick, long stick midi, and another short stick. The way I teach it to my kids to play this zone and play it correctly would be to possibly pretend, if you can, that each man, sorry it's not writing, has their own little maybe 5 to 7 yard bubble around them. Alright, so let's pretend that's 5 to 7 yards. Very crappy, I know. I'll probably make another video sooner or later. But each man would have about a 5 or 7 yard zone around them, and you would be communicating the whole time where the ball's going, where is it at. When a man with the ball, okay, this guy's got ball, he comes into this little area, this becomes this guy's man. Now let's say he decides to keep running down, he starts to carry it down. At a certain point, okay, I teach the kids to pass off. So once this guy gets down to the certain area, now it's this guy's man, and he holds him down. I'll go ahead and just draw actually what like most basic offenses everybody runs versus a zone defense. Okay, so we have our zone. And then let's say we're playing a 2, 3, 1. The way I would do to show rotate, guy's got ball, you know, let's say instead of walking it down this time he passes, now that's this guy's man. Now here's a big thing in the zone a lot of people probably get confused on is what to do once ball reaches X. You can do it two ways. One, on a pass we usually shoot the middle guy right here and he goes down to plays and right above that point right there. Now if this guy right here instead wanted to walk the ball down, and let's say they're going to rotate because this is a triangle offense, everybody knows that. Okay, this guy would stay with him, walking him down. In the zone, you'll see a lot of people, what it is kind of popping out, playing their man, popping back in. We always teach the kids to maintain this box right here. Do not walk outside of that box. Do not go and playing people all the way out here. Okay, make sure that they all stay inside this box. Let me erase some of this. Probably looks confusing and crappy. Okay. Let me draw our offensive guys. This is my first actual video, so yeah, please excuse the shakiness in the video. I'm actually holding it with my hand here. You know, let's say ball's here, this guy's popping out, he's playing him, ball gets passed along here, okay, he's popping out, he's playing him, vice versa. As the ball gets worked around, these people are just popping out and stuff. Like I said, as it gets passed, this guy's coming down, he's playing him. A way to beat the zone, of course, you've heard Quint talk about it and such. You want to get a lot of people dodging the gaps, right? Beating the gaps, causing confusion. Now, if you don't have great communication and everybody's head is not on a swivel, very easily you'll get pulled apart. A lot of guys will start jumping out. There's no communication. They don't know who's who, and they start just grabbing anybody that's running by. So, your captain, goalie, needs to be aware of this, everybody else must have their head on the swivel. Not only paying attention to their man who's got ball, possibly watching for screens, possibly watching for cutters, vice versa. Just defense, as of any defense, of course, relies on lots of communication. Another way to throw in the anticipation part of playing this defense, which a lot of people think that this can be very passive. You know, maybe your team's up on offense and you just, you know, you don't want to play man anymore. You know, you're not trying to get any turnovers. You just jump into a 3-3 zone and you kind of slow things down. But you can actually use this defense to pressure people. The way I would try and explain it, if we're playing, you know, you can call a certain color or code if you want to play pressure or non-pressure. This man right here has got ball. I'm sorry, can't speak. He's playing him. The anticipation part, of course, and it's probably obvious to all you guys, that this guy, he starts creeping out little by little, stick up in the air. All these guys, of course, have to have their stick up in the passing lanes, making sure they're not making it easy for any cross-field passes and such. So, this guy's anticipating the pass over here, same as this guy. He's anticipating the pass over here. Backside guy, and of course your goalie, I'm mixing the guy right here in front of crease, I'm sorry, is paying attention to this guy down here. He's watching him, seeing if he's going to try and sneak, come across and whatnot. Okay, this guy over here, actually I would try and tell him, depending on how aggressive you want to play it, he's actually going to go out and already start pressuring this guy. So if anything, this guy tries to tempt it, a pass across, If this guy doesn't intercept it somewhere right here, at least tip it, this guy's already there, possibly making a play on the ball. He's off to the races. Wheels, you guys know what to do. Okay. This defense you can use to be aggressive. You can actually also double the ball. It depends on how you want to use it, the type of players that you have. Again, just basics. Okay, you know that you want to maintain this box right here. I would say maybe the top of the box is maybe I would say, I don't know, 10, 15 yards down from the offensive area box. You just have to make sure a lot of these guys are communicating. They're also watching, their heads on a swivel. They're not watching the ball, where the ball's at. They're not only watching the guy that might be in their zone without the ball. They're paying attention to people across from them, behind them. Because like I said, one of the easiest ways to beat the zone is to cause confusion. And you cause confusion by attacking. Quince has a really good video over on, I think it's on YouTube, about how people were attacking Virginia's zone, and you attack it, but just by dodging the gaps. Maybe a lot of you might have the mistake of a guy maybe trying to follow him down. This causes a big empty hole and such. In this zone defense, you want to force the offense to have outside shots. You do not want anything on the inside. If you're getting shots on the inside from a zone defense, you're doing something wrong. It's purposely meant to take all the shots from this area. You don't want to allow nothing inside this little box. As a goalie, me personally as well, being in this position, seeing a shot coming from, about 10, 15 yards out, a lot easier to save versus a guy right here, quick pass, maybe beat me high with a fake and go down low, vice versa. I have an easier shot of seeing it coming from a longer distance. I also have the opportunity of stepping out, taking away, the shot area. This defense can be used more, like I said, more than just something to lay back into. Let's see if I can give some example of maybe some plays people might try and run and such. I know when we played it, actually, my high school, I went to La Mirada. It's a school over here on the West Coast. Yes, there is lacrosse on the West Coast, but it's very small. Schools would try and switch the formations. They would play us in a 2-3-1 or 1-4-1, and honestly, a lot of people didn't know how to play it, and I believe because of this reason. And the funny thing is, I actually watched a video on YouTube about this defense. That's actually how I learned how to play it, and I actually taught it to my guys, and then we all in turn learned and practiced it. But this defense, I use it as a base defense. Actually, I rarely play man. A lot over here on the left coast, as some of you East Coasters might call it. We're a little bit slow on the lacrosse stick skills and such, and whatnot. So this zone defense is very helpful, but I also see it being able to be used as a pressure defense when you use the anticipation type of idea thinking behind it. Especially when you have that fourth depot on there, using a lawn stick midi is very helpful. Actually, I would say if you're not going to use a lawn stick midi while playing this defense, I don't think it's as helpful if you were to have one on there on the field than rather not having one. So just go over basics one more time. This is probably didn't go into too much like I thought I would, but each man right here probably has, like I said in the very beginning of the video, I just gave a brief example. This is like off the top of my head, maybe a 5-7 yard zone depending on how far you want to play them out. I don't like sending kids all the way out here to play guys. It's easy for them to get beat. We have mismatches. Slides could be slow. It's too easy. So every man's probably got about a 5 or 7 yard circle. When a guy comes into your zone, that is your man. Okay. You also have to remember about passing guys off. Everybody's got their own little box here, if that makes it easier for you to see. So guys got ball here, whether he's passing it down or he actually carries it down. Once he gets to a certain point, these two guys got to communicate to each other. Okay, now this is my man. Like I said, also when the ball gets passed down here, the best way to defend that would be setting a guy down. Okay, and he's playing him on the pass. If he's taking it and he's walking it down himself, he's staying with him. Now this guy's shifting and taking his man. Also, another thing in this zone defense, especially when people have crease, like in a 2-3-1 a crease man, I hold these two guys right here on top and bottom always accountable for watching the guy right here in the middle. I tell them don't only be paying attention to around you, behind you, but be paying attention to this guy and what he's doing. A lot of times they'll have this guy run around, try and set picks, just going crazy, trying to cause confusion. But as long as everybody's head's on a swivel, and this defense, I find it to be very solid. I also find it to be, I mean, you look at Virginia in 2011 when they won the championship. They won because of their zone defense, made up for a lot of guys. Their deep holes getting beat. If you haven't watched it, you should watch the Maryland versus Virginia championship game or the Denver versus Virginia game. They used that heavy. I believe they had it was Adam Gittleman. It makes your goalie a lot better. Boosts his confidence, stopping a lot of outside shots. I know in one game, defense, you don't always want to allow too many shots, but in this defense, you might force that. It's not a bad thing, but I do remember one game, I had 15 saves, and I'm not trying to brag or anything, I'm just showing you that they were all outside shots. I probably maybe had in that game, I think they scored like 3 or 4 goals, and the three of those 4 were all inside the zone, inside that box, which shouldn't have been allowed. So like I said, just to recap, communication, anticipation, no ball watching. You could use it to shut down the offensive inside game. You force a lot of outside shots, and you can dictate the tempo using this defense. So, yeah, this is pretty much it. I thought I'd go over it pretty quick. I thought I was going to go in depth. Do you have any comments, or maybe I explained it wrong, or I didn't say this right? That's cool. I'll take it. I just believe that this was a better explanation than some of the videos that I've seen. Correct me if I'm wrong. All this information I got was actually just from another video off YouTube, a training video from some coach. I can't remember. It was back in the day, back when I was in high school. So, yeah, questions, comments, go ahead and leave them down. And let me know what you guys think. And hopefully I'll be able to redo this again and do it on a bigger whiteboard. Let me know what you think. And, yeah, leave your comments. See you guys later. Keep laxing. And shout out to all the West Coast laxers out here. We need to spread the game, man. Later.